So as usual, please try to establish right motivation.
Sendi so gibi, sendi so sama chuba, kache was tela sa de do la so. Dendri le chara ta chi kwa chi, yin nga zo seven jan ro, de nga so ma nga seven jan ro ma. Ra de nga zo chi. Se che bo sen de ga, se che bo de se zu ma se che mo yin ta je. Geshe Doga man se chubu mayin tachi ngin reshan. Kangi ta se chubu lega, se chubu den dili son puna yabundi wa. Dedan do dena shu se je lobi polo lepa shi chepi se. Shu se mena soso polo lepa shi ten rigo ara. Soso puja kare, luja kare. Taba tenye luja kare, toja kare. Ten mena chi tanai. Ngesu zeli chi sheba mande na, ngesu zeli be tawan de na, deli ta, kal pongo, kal longo de, tene pa tiba shene tene, shebi te no la tene, shelo de, shelo tongje, tenba jis tenba shasa, jisa tenba shasa, de, tenba jedis, kesu la, geim iba maje, tenba ta, tenba kesu mungu shesa soya, sono se te, ke tenba shiba sresen de oda. Te jide te tona, tene, tenba jasa, tenba la, tenba la, senji tso gore, senji tso bi, sosa manchi ba sharis. Renda, geim iba je, tenba manya ba, senji tso gundu sunja. Diga ta, bulunyi, ta rito gora, ta son te, ta tene ma yiba te le sa, ta si.
Okay, so just going to read out the last paragraph where we stopped last time, which in summary, you must study and discern well what Bodhisattva's training requires you to adopt and to cast aside, and then joyously persevere at continuously being mindful in all your conduct of what you have understood about what to adopt and what to cast aside. Hence, it is extremely important not to err about that at which you are to persevere. So the if we have to bring about a true happiness within our mind, and then really it is we have to direct our mind to think over the meaning of this kind of, like what is, for example, this last paragraph, which is what we have just read. If you think about that and then to put this into our practice, then we can really achieve that the true happiness, the peace that we seek in our mind. So as it clearly says here, it's how in terms of one's practice. So one have to be very clear. One should have a clear understanding of what to adopt or what to practice, and in one's practice and even in one's life, to what to accept and what to reject. So if we take this in terms of in terms of our spiritual practice, then really it's what we have to where we have to direct our effort, in like is here talking about the joyful effort, is to cultivate a virtuous state of mind. And so, when we, there is no question that we all are really always seeking for this a true happiness within something we can experience within ourselves, we can feel within our mind. And so when we talk of that, achieving that happiness, then really there's only one way, that is to cultivate this virtuous state of mind. And so, as it says here, rely on such activities. And then joyously persevere, continuously being mindful. So when it says continuously being mindful, so that's its emphasis is talking about to see a stable, the progress in our practice. So we must apply the mindful, continuously, and then as is clearly as is indicated here, where we have to direct place our mindfulness is on this, on this cultivating or to retaining this and develop and increasing this virtuous or a positive state of mind. So we have learned about what is really all mindfulness is all about. What is mindfulness? It is really to has this state of mind which has a function of enabling us to not forget or keep us always in presence about the such inner value, such safeguarding such inner value, such as this virtuous state of mind.
치바에는다 치바면은다 대녀지 대야 치바라서 대야 대녀지는 더리 대야사 답이 대야사 이제 던제비 대야사 답을한다 쉬어서 봐죠 내로에서 답이 대야죠 대시는 제가 중가시는 때는 덴지 대야들 강이 대 쉬어서 그래서 son 대선이자 예자다 내가 돈을 내라 가르세는 제가 저 로자 돈을 했고 대부자 받고 그래 맨딩 아주 저는 매 대하선 된게시나 매 대하 제발 매 리치 더 거라 매 리마도 매 대하 인사야 막 거의 매 대하 매 리테 되는 거라 토리 대하 토리 리테 되는 거 그래서 매일은 대하다 매일 리터는 가르쳐 주면 좀 많이 받대 먼저 답하셔야 먹게 접봉 받았대 먹게 접봉 야자 치드 다 드니 가서 그냥 손 놓셔가 소제 안 되게 보자야 소제真是레스 안 되게 보자야 자 소제 봉하는 놓자야 마 대신 로지세 되게 제시되는 야본도와 소제바래 마지바래 롱에 돼 얘네 가서 용어래 용 타실 다 템비가 주도나 대지 패기야래 자 걸어 뭐지 패기야 마도 타마 레그래 그거 저게 바지 가나 내 용어래 다 가서 깔리 먹어야지 디바샤 드니 전에 대시된 드니로 대신년이 용거야래 아 대니 여기 가들 다 선은 지소나 근데 생각 가자 더 발래 소모고 누와이다 다선 대지도네 얘네 야부서 가래 내가 가르랬으니 다 제가 대리 레세 영화제에 샤이 선은 어다 어딘지 비고 또 됐어 다 대리다
So as well as we should also focus on that last line, which says it's extremely important not to err about that at which you are to perseverance, so which really the emphasizing on on knowing really exactly where we should be directing our energy, where I should be directing our joyful effort. So now really it's the we all kind of consider ourselves as the someone who aspires for for spiritual path and who trying to consider ourselves somebody who practicing these spiritualities, meditations, and so therefore now again if we ask the whatever we activity activity that we undertake in life. So the goal is always the goal is always to achieve happiness and to avoid sufferings. So even when we talk of the as a some like a spiritual practitioners, so our goal is really is to achieve happiness. So like for example, if we understand in this in the teachings that how these spiritual beings who are like who follows the Sharvakas or the Pratyeka Buddha, like the hearers or the solitary realizer path. So what they seek, so they aspire is the liberation, state of liberations, which is the form of the happiness of the state of liberations. And then similarly, when you look at the practitioners who on the small or the middling stage of the path, then these practitioners are aspiring for the happiness which exists on the higher rebirth, and so therefore if we aspire for we all aspire for happiness, and then so if the happiness that we aspire, if it is something that within the experience of a human being, then we have to understand that we have to, in order to achieve that, we have to find a human rebirth, just as to accomplish the happiness of the higher status, higher rebirth. We have to be born in there. So likewise, to find that happiness, on the level of like a state of liberation. So we have to achieve liberations. So therefore, so on the basis of this, then if we think about now if we were to achieve the happiness of a human rebirth, then what are the causes and the conditions? So of course there is no doubt that we all know that the main causes are to refrain from 10 non-virtuous or to practice 10 virtues. So from this point of view, that when that fact that we seek happiness and also we say if we seek for the higher form of happiness, such as the happiness of the human rebirth or the higher rebirth, and so therefore it is we have to understand that in order to create the causes, right causes, or to live the life to which will enable us to fulfill our aspirations, then it's important to maintain mindfulness, practice of mindfulness, and the introspections, and so this is what depending on our aspirations, so we should be always applying this mindfulness and introspections, like such as the always have that retain that mindfulness, to think of, that, the committing such, act of the killing is really very negative, acquire one of negative karmas, and such as like a stealing, and through these two mindfulness, when we maintain mindfulness, then we become more aware of what to do, what to not do, and also we will also be aware that if we happen to commit any non-virtuous actions, non-virtuous, then at least it will occur. We will think of then applying like remedies, purifying practices which we all know. So this is how we can see if the benefit of this just maintaining mindfulness and introspection in terms of our the spiritual progress.
말에 심한 번째 가서 타바 타바랑 가서 렌지 공부식 터가 렌지 공부만 타바타서야 말. 타바타 때 되는 러는 도버셔를 단전이가 제입니다. 더 가르잖아. 가르에 도버셔 가서는 타바 터비 때 늘릴 때야 말이 되셔입니다. 대체하죠. 그래. 그래 되다. 이제 렌지를 타바 던지 쳐봐도 렌지 공부들은 뭐지 뭐 말 렌지 공부면 매이제 정한도 사당한 렌지 공부인데 넣고 번호 얘는 딜사나데 이미 렌지 공부는 안 토던 안도 체 전부 싫어야 돼 계속 싫어야 쟤들은 안도 티바 못 줘야 돼 그래 얘네 근데 다 들이 봐선 돈을 야본데 와 뭐지 소설 리테 빼세요 되네요 동수 빼세요 되네요 리 돈에 다 쓰고라 빼세 가르잖아 리 모자지 제가 만들리데 야만 딜레데 전탄이 저만데 더 빼세요 되지 뒤져도 받아 다다 더 쳐서 라디오 다 가지 다다시면 다연 난 고셔야 돼 내내서는 야부도 가라 진리생활의 제터는 뭐셔고 쳐야 치제비 고쳐야 치는 자에 고쳐야 라 치는 자에 고쳐 계시는 제비 고쳐야 맞아 그냥 맞아라 맞아 내 심하다라 내릴 때 토토비 근데 저저데 내내 그럼 안도 대중주지 너가 알아 내내 봐 그래서 다에 때라 님보 레서 님보 레고 알아 님보 들으라래 뭐지 다에 때라 님보 가지 다 되는 다당하서 쓰자 야보 냐지 등에는 나가서 근데 야보 가서 손도나 다 당에 저러서 따발라 등에 대래 다 대랑에 대자자지 세고야 당이 다당하서 들이 내가 샤 롱경에네 있지 알아 다시 드제세나 뭐도 다지 좀마셔다 농기 드제세나 뭐도 내니비 시라 쳐봤대 튼 대화 준비친들이 숨어진데 대대비 계시에 다 만나지 내가 될 당연에 다리를 다 야얀도마도 산소나 땡들래 이다 당에 대세 저러 대라 대다 산도나 팽들 세운데 관계라 너 제가 매 아무 게시도가 마치 세운데 세 팽들 같이 될로도 제용도 생겼네 이제 배우야 되니 다 손 대도야
So the in terms of our spiritual goal, if our goal is to achieve state of liberation or even the all-knowing state of Buddhahood, within this present life, then I can say this is something that I won't be able to achieve. But don't know about you guys. and so therefore, if we are not not one of those who are able to achieve the state of liberation or within this life, then what practice is very is very indispensable for us. So the one practice very indispensable is really we must do is to create the right causes, so we can even to come back and find the same like a life of leisure and endowment again in the futures. So this is what you can also understand the reason why when we study the Lam Rim style teachings. So the first kind of very major topic is this one, is meditating on the precious the rarity and the meaning of precious human rebirth. So therefore we have to it's important to as we follow the spiritual practice, it's really important for us to not only to understanding about our practice, then but also in terms also putting into practice. You put that teaching into practice, and also we have to feel, we have to get some sort of, through practice, we have to get some sort of sense of achieving our goal. For which in the teaching it says, we have to we should not waste this precious human rebirth, but rather take the essence, the essence, or the extract the essence of this precious human rebirth. So what does this mean, to us, if and so first of all, it's important that we have to recognize how important to recognize that how, which quite often I remind people that really we about that, the fact that how fortunate right now, how fortunate we may be at the moment in terms of the these all the favorable conditions that we possess, which surround our life, in terms of the both internal and the external favorable conditions, and or we can talk externally all the favorable condition, not to mention, but also internally we can see in terms of our form of life. Then we can recognize that we have found this, the life of leisure and endowment, as exactly as described in the we find that a description in the teachings. So we have found that, and then as well as when we think of the our mind, the qualities or of our mind, then we can also see our mind has the attributes of or the ability to discern, to the things, that, so in another word, we have a wisdom knowledge within our mind. And likewise, so we have so we have to also recognize the fact that how fortunate we are to be able to meet, to have this meet with the Mahayana teachings, as well as the perfect gurus. So therefore, having recognized all these things, and then to really we have to make sure that we practice the Dharma, and at least we find some sort of a satisfaction, some sort of, overall we find a like happiness. We live a happy and satisfying life, and also to, as we said before, it says that in terms of taking the meaning of the life or the essence of this precious human rebirth, then in the at the low level, so at least we have to create all the causes and conditions which will ensure us to find the same such a life again, like a life of leisure and endowment in future.
다 자바텔 레셀레스 르마샤이 참나스라다 레다 센조버텔라소 다레 다 온리 제유 또데스 다 레셀 온지 다레 레셀레스 르마이 참나다 데라들 온지 또시미데소가레스 다데 데네 바야레가레 셰바 땅가더라 조세지 로자라 로기비 로기비 안제네 길르도 되네 알라나 켈로네 말라나 녀미 첼 녀미 셔데 체와 체와도 되네 체와도 녀몰라 다타 달리도 대당하는 배 진지번로서 대제 까셔라 큰도 문제바 제도 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 다이르 제도 다이 현재 다시 현선 노라스 노리스 다 노리스 대란 주비가 진 공연도라 대란 주비 돈이 저거는데 고니 다데고 다가 레서 다데 또신데 레세 게알아 거도 머리 된 채노 통제 네 다데라 나 리레리스 맞아 신내선이 리레리스야 리셔저도 세셔저도 리셔저도가 리그냉엘리셔제 세셔저도 세그냉엘리셔제인데다 채노들어 레세선에 맞아 미발라 되알다 채노한테는 용거나 강하나 용거나 리가 되니 제가래 다 게알아 거도 머리 와된 채노들 채노 터제 돈에 쇼세제 샤바 로발라체나 동화도 용어 저다 샤테스 데 안데도 바제 고고 안 돼요.
Okay, so now continue with the text, which this begins with the section called "How to Use Joyous Perseverance to Make the Mind and Body Serviceable." So this method for using joyous perseverance to make the mind and body serviceable is the power of mastery. So Shantideva sets forth in the chapter on conscientiousness, in his engaging in the Bodhisattva's deeds, the necessity of learning the Bodhisattva's training, the extremely grave consequences if you do not train in these once you have place to do so. So how to regard the affliction as the enemy, and the ways to generate the courage that looks upon the hardship of battling the affliction as an ornament rather than as a burden. So meditate on these before taking up the task of training in the Bodhisattva's deeds. So these, thus stopping all the inhibitions that prevent you from using your body and mind for virtuous activity, rise gladly to that task. And the engaging in the Bodhisattva's deeds says, so in order to have strength for everything, so before engaging in any activities, I will recall the advice on conscientiousness and then gladly rise to the task. So perhaps you can go over, read over this line again, and should be able to understand the meaning.
Sendi kande na shegres ta de dipe yawara tene sendi to chu ngene lesenya onje bita sendi le yongwa ita da da be sendi chata ba shi shewan je nyo na shipa da de shipa ta de mu de ba ja ko shipa ba shipa shipa ba da le Shibayin Damare, Shin Damare,
Shinpeg Damas, Shinpel Dama, Shinpeg Damas,
Shinpel, she
Palapes,
Mother, she passing Pesek, no, passing Pesek,
Pelso,
Pel, passing,
no,
Tell Pesek, Bill said, I don't Bill said, Pal
no.
That's it, we said that, and Dama, Palandra, don't Sola, Yua, La, Lungi, Ron, Java, Jedas, in it, mother. That Timan and the wire, little passage, you passage general, they happen to the tickets here. The Luther, and under the listening, bad and under listening, Luther, Mando, as a Sendi, Sendi, Lisa Onji, Petani Javare, Pala and Draw, the Sola, Walla, Lungi, Unjo, Jedas, Rungi said, Lila, Gala, Toyich, and the Toshuch, Onji, teaches the Shabana, Sendi Lepa to the Drabayella. 대전에 대년 so 통제 될었는데 반제대 다스 지달령 거 되네 다 만데 다 공대
So in essentially, so in the above, so it's talk about the how if we achieve this what do you call as the state of like a mental and physical fluencies, which we learned in the under the topic of the calm abiding. So how when you achieve that, and then you overcome all the impediment, all the kind of like negativities or obstacle, which on your with relating to your mind and body in being very inserviceable, or not functionable to engaging in the virtues. So that's what is saying that before, and then when it says, what forms what forms will the joyous perseverance produce by such effort take? So referring to that, so how having the gain these attributes of both our mind and body to be really very serviceable to virtue, or to even to whatever wherever we exert our effort. If it becomes very easy, then our effort becomes very not only becomes smooth, but also very very effective and powerful. So as it says, just as wind drives a piece of cotton to and fro, a joyful energy enthused for virtues, so controls your mind and body. So here the makes the meaning very clear. How imagine if if our mind into virtue control your mind, and 가사디 timbe디 lulza madam sorry no the the analogy of like why the joyful effort is like the wind, and then the mind and mental and physical, is compared to the like a cotton, like a soft cotton, and just as the cotton can be easily moved by the wind. So when you
롱게 레세 라제 게아 레세 라 게와 제 쪼이 진나 로 슈지 진나 제치 디지라 된다 아라 이제 제스 셰바나 다 센디제 레바 레바 되니세 녜네 센디아고 된 레바레 레바야 얘나 다 되니 손 소제 내라 되니 레바 이제 녜네 레가다 간세메 되니 오데 센디만이 온 거면 되지 녜네 젠디요나 용어야 젠디면에 용어 매바 대세 그러와 가 젠디요나 용어도 젠디면에 뭐가 대세 롤 대차가
So and then says when you act along with these energies, so joyous perseverance is well established. So once you produce these, so you will easily achieve all the collections. So so even though it is here you are talking about the specific joyful effort, which has that the capacity to so just naturally the enable both our mind and body to be very engaging in a very the engaging in the virtues, virtuous practice. So, but also it is also implying that the significance of making effort in order to accomplish anything. And so whereas if we as he says, once you produce these, so you will easily achieve all the collections. So, if you put an effort, then whatever the you are aspiring for, that then you will be able to achieve that.
Yes, that so he so send so that I continue that so told you he so the send so the long channel may have that and we should just start that Luna draw the way the Shiba on Java there's a toy each other on Jade Tatan and Japan. 대단한 저발 센일레반 저발 가지고서 아마 정같이 내가 사세요.
So when it says once you produce this, so you will easily achieve all the collections. So even collections. So just the term collection here, we should be able to understand that it is talking about the two accumulations of the merit and the wisdoms, and so generally it's the way to really to develop ourselves, really the acquaintance with the teachings is to even when we read such word collections, and we think of the true accumulation, and then at the same time be able to get some the idea or notion in our mind what are those merit true accumulation are, and so then continue in the engaging in the Bodhisattva's deed states, just like cotton under the power of a wind that blows to and fro. So I will be driven by enthusiasm. In this way I will accomplish all. So then continues. So although such tasks are difficult, so it is wrong to give them up. So the advice here is that we in our practice we should not lose our courage, or or should not give up by thinking or by saying that it is too difficult. So then, rather, as the glorious Bodhicitta's praise in 150 verses says, you must make effort. So the sublime state, difficult to reach, is not attained without hardships. So it's just saying, quite self-explanatory. So there is in order to achieve the sublime state, that is the state of the Buddhahood. So as it says, we have to overcome all the the hardship, and through continuously making our effort, and so it says even the sublime state is not something easy. Rather, it says it's something difficult to reach. And then knowing this, so you intensified your joyous perseverance without concern for yourself. So that's this next two lines, which really then recollect the life of the Lord Buddhas, who when in his the practice, or in a search for perceiving his the state of full state of supreme enlightenment. So all the hardship that Buddha have, all the sacrifices Buddha has made, even the sacrificing his own life and everything, in order to reach this complete enlightenment. Yes.
대사 드비세 자치사 샤네 살로제 전에 공원서에 동바 주대도 네 샤나 파시 주도 제와 저기대 다대 응엘로서 저다시라 전제지 점바나 로텔라 제네니 예텔란 게바죠 로니 있더니 실라 제자노 예라 전지 하데 실라 게바데 전지 점바생도 예 지바르다 네 점바시 예라스 하마노 나셰바 제너스 나셰바 다시 동바 주대 파시 주대 세다 로마 데르라데 마셰바 마바 대다기 대드는 다 되는 셰베테네 지바이바 셰베테 현주이 세 제서 제지 고만노라 제지 고만노 약간은 세제 토제 전리란 게비 대드 로바라 제나 까라스 그거 시치를 건난다는 뭐발라데 그게 임시죠. 그게 임시인데 봤을 그게 임시를 대전배도 동시 동시 대내 개세 대돈의 사탄비 센지 졸려노 멤비 예듯이 사랑의 멤비 예듯이 용라스 레트메 센지 라 센지 로르 노라 요네 요는테니스 베바샤스 텐요 요네 베바다 샤바든 토모 마이베 센지제 모자 슈바는 레파 저가 못으시죠 레바가 제르베라 샹게 레라 데요 다데제레 고바다 토자 알아 뭐봐도 토자 현주도 쳐드자와 생제 통제제 내디 르지 세원에 생제도 늘 배워버려 토자 현주를 현주도 쳐드자 생제 통제제 대도 다간 대화 르시 동아 세와도 내게는 야분려자 대치 레와도 소전은 타예바 가시 빠다메바 조이지의 고시 젠지지의 손비 제바지 손바지지 아니 뭐지 바셔가리 된다에 손바전은 라체와 셰바 손지 지의 선은 라체바셔서 소바로 로조게지의 시발이 숨바람 배바샤데 사데 만나 파셔된 럭디한테 뭐대 제바선을 해야
And then the text goes, how to practice. So you must practice any kind of joyous perseverance in association with the six supremacies and all six perfections. So the generosity of joyous perseverance is establishing others in joyous perseverance after you have stabilized yourself therein. So the remaining perfections are in accord with the earlier explanations. So these just as all the other all the above perfections, so how this perfection of joyful effort can be also you can also incorporate all the six perfections into these, like the generosity or the giving of joyous perseverance. What does that mean? Is to just as you, as he says, is establishing others. Is just as you applied this, so you also establish. You also cause other to follow, to apply this joyful effort in the practice, and then likewise. So there's also the text says the remaining perfection are in accord with the earlier explanation. So here we have to even the six supremacies and so forth, which was already explained in earlier on. So we has the same meaning, similar meaning to this practice. And then goes a summary, the recollection and cultivation of this spirit of enlightenment, the basis of the Bodhisattva's deeds. So inspire you to train in order to in order to set all living beings in joyous perseverance. So steadily increase this spirit and then aspire to and train in the methods of joyous perseverance for those at high levels. Also strive as you are able at the method of learning joyous perseverance for a beginning bodhisattvas. So in particular, effectively stop the various forms of discouragement. So here, like including like the various form of like laziness, like of the laziness of the procrastinations and laziness of indulging in the like something like a meaningless or the inferior activities and so forth. And this being uniquely subject to eliminations by joyous perseverance. So mentally put on the armor of joyous perseverance. That is enthusiastic about the following. So the talks about the necessity of putting on the armor of joyous perseverance, which is in order to achieve this goal, like the goal of enlightenment, and the aim of accomplishing the happiness and eliminating the suffering of all living beings, and the very long period of time. So it's the indicating that you need that joy to put on the joyful armor, because the journey to enlightenment, that is to achieving the supreme enlightenment. So that it says that is that very long period of time requires or takes a very long period of time, and the limitless collections and the immeasurable hardships. And then strive at this attitude, because as the question of Subbahu Sudra says, just by generating the powerful surge of such a resolve, you accumulate a great wave of merit.
Chera Yatayan, Shoseji, Sheba, Ngamateya, Shoseji, Sheba, Loba, Chikawachan, Jeshi, Detabichan, Nobash, Shiba, Shide, Chatawa, Nyosa, Nyosa, Malay Jones, Li, Ti, Sho, really, Jenny Beaches, Sandy, and then the mother, long to be condescending in it. Detab, no, Shiba, Shide. Chetawa is Nyosa, Malay Jones, Li Ti, Sho Juni, Redan, Sho Juni, Jenny be sending Zona, Lozo Shibani, Sumbata, Shia Yet, say Chungi, Tari, say Juma, Mabajan, Mabanyanda, Sandy, part of the Shabbat, Zoba Shabajan, Sumi Shabbat, they are upon the young other day. They mentioned that. 제제는 가는 여러 점이야 맞잖아. 근데 리 대쇼나 바즈르니 대쇼나 바즈르니 다 전에 베트니 전에서나 네 패트니 아래에서야 달려 가르더니 딜 대야진도요. 대 맞잖아. 대다리 년이 된 대용도야. 거 저다이제 로주지 대내가 진열에 제 맞아. 그 쇼트니지 제자나 저는 로주시 봐자 제가 이제도 제 중에 중앙에 몇 발에서 현재는 봐주 도레스 대생도.
And then the text continue. Then in other lives as well, you will find it very difficult to learn I jumped out the sentence here. If you do not do this, so you fail to secure your Mahayana lineage, and you are also continually stained by much wrongdoing. So this relate to what was just mentioned before. That is, if you do not follow as it was said before in terms of the putting on the armor of joyful effort and so forth, then you and then continue. Then in other life as well, you will find it very difficult to learn the Bodhisattva's deeds. And then the text says, also after you have become aware of such things, even if you do not practice perfectly, so here there's a bit of indication of the considerations of our capacities, where by saying how also that after you have become aware of such things, despite the fact that what you are aware, you fully understood what has been just said before, then even if you, as he said, even if you do not practice perfectly, motivate yourself in that directions. So it's saying that even if you are not, whatever the reason, you are not able to really practice perfectly or practice precisely as was just instructed before, then it's saying that at least motivate yourself in that directions. At least trying to direct your mind, still to motivate or to encourage yourself to trying to even if you cannot follow the path perfectly precisely, but still you must make effort to directing yourself towards practicing these practicing this. And then he says, if you then joyously perseverance to the extent that you are able, then as the question of Subhahu Sutra says, you will quickly complete the perfection of joyous perseverance in future lives without sufferings and with a little difficulty. So the saying that even if you're not able to fully implement these advanced instruction as said here precisely, but even if you met your best effort, then as he's saying this, say that the benefit is that at least then you will. The benefit is that then at least in future, whatever effort that you have made now, so has in future can be a cause to be able to put this into practice with little difficulties also. So then goes to the next, which is the perfection of concentration. Sorry. So in the text, how to train in the perfection of meditative stabilizations. The explanation of how to train in the perfection of meditative stabilization has 5 parts. What meditative stabilization is, how to begin the cultivation of meditative stabilization, the division of meditative stabilization, how to practice, and then the 5th is a summary.
야 먼저 된다 미 봐라 제지 지대 내버라 다다 시선만 되는 내지 가 수사가 수세치 제지 봐 개화돼서 거기 동네는 쉬워서 다다 세모 미 봐래 얘도 매야와 내비 제지 비교하세요 아 세대신의 모델로 롱이 미 봐라 제지 지대 내봐도 다 되게 뭐야 사이바 딩엔도 제지니에로 다 되지 뭐셔 사죠
So what meditative stabilization is? So meditative stabilization is a virtuous, one-pointed state of mind that stays fixed on its object of meditation, so without distractions to other things.
그래서 조사를 현실세비 내내 티바도 som바 년도 년 로이래 현실 세반은 이제는데 비지 세제벽에 세제바 겨데 세네바 세네바 대학원이야 년들라다 선도들아 조사를 간 현실세비 내내 티바도 som바 년도 제도 로이 된다 그래 고자발라 뭐 티바가 티비거든 소주는 뭐 좋은 거 이제 지속거지 ren지 티바 가제 제가 전에 소주 쳐서 소주 갈 때는 뭔가 첸로도 가도베라 미체치 생겨 아마 저거 미체치 다 소문데 안돼도 현실세비 내내 티바도 손방년도 전 로스 녀는 로이 되는 현실 삼바 논지 대도 아무도 말이야 맞아 라 이거는 논지가 다 가는 지대는 대비 세세치 받아 지대바 지대인데 많이 세치비가 내봐다 거 토마죠 이거는 토마죠 제도 신이죠 이거도 신도 세 예선이죠 신내지 쇼서 판통의 쇼서 쉬다 내가 집이 lo ten yin ke sho kong yin ba te dan na xiong jue shan ba nung ji chen so ze je ngo nye de che da na ri ba sha wo si ta si ting ban dua ten ra ku san
ya. So the explanations of the what is his meditative stabilizations is in accordance with the what is in the Bodhisattva's levels, what it says there. So it says here the Bodhisattva's level says it is the one-pointed state of mind stabilized on virtue, and either mundane or supermundane of bodhisattvas who have first studied and reflected on the bodhisattva's scriptural collections. So whether it is oriented towards meditative serenity, towards insight, or towards both as the path that conjoins them, so understand that this one-pointed state of mind is the bodhisattva's meditative stabilizations. So the clearly says that the meditative stabilization is really talking about a single-pointed, state of mind, which is not affected by any distractions or mental agitations, and then then here in the bodhisattva's level, then it describes that such single-pointed state of concentration can be something which can be either true in association with the essence meditative serenity, or is a calm abiding, or in association with the insight, which is special insight, or towards both, or can be a state which is related to the union of of calm abiding and special insight, and then it says in order to meditate well, then it says that it is necessary to it all depends on your the contemplations, how how well you could you can contemplate on the topics, and then in order to be well contemplate, how well you can contemplate is depends on how well you understand the topic. So that is the learning, through listening or through studying the scriptures. So therefore, it again clearly even in these bodhisattvas levels, which clearly says the necessity of combining all these three, the listenings, contemplating, and meditating all together. Not just one and not the other, and so in fact this it is really the very one of the great the unique instructions that comes from the Kadamba masters, that it is saying that the more you have knowledge in your through listenings, then there's more there is for you to contemplate, and then more you can contemplate on. Then there's more to meditate on.
다 신내의 쇼 한도기신 쇼서 스웨덴데 스웨덴비 자반 주비 로테 닝키가 공유바데스 다이다 대님바다 게세세 지바레신 한도도 시라자라 신내세 메발라 바세치 네베거든 셰르데 안데 이거라 신내세 다 메바세치 네비 셰르데 안데 never think one thing, all the Hanto, Jeppy, Jeppy, Jeto Jogata, or Shane Nechan Jeto, Sunday says there, one Tashi Sunday Geshe something there. You know that. Shane said they call me about Jetchin, Nanny, and she should have Jagudiva. Tan Hanto Dingata, Shane Nechan said, you'll have to be the Shane Nechan dress, and she should have day water. Father said. 신내게 세치 내면 시주대하더라. 한토는 시주대하다 일라서서 제비 떠지거든 시주대한데요. 화성에도 되래. 순저서 되는 다시 순대 기재 이사람들 그래서 신내 내병원에 일라서서 제비거든. 다 한토는 신내 내찬대 더고. 신내 내찬대 되는 시주대하더라. 다 되는 세계에서 다 순대신他的存在以上应该老人嘛，像人吧，那就是才把那说这些，我你的这把下我是他的，他的历险记历史，在他真的现在呢，也能定样子来讲是的，把这结娃的啥，结娃些结婚公告一下，他都要人人们，原来给小听人家那什么那个的。在他真的现在呢，也能定样子来讲，是他一在当定样子下第一。
So there's when it says here in the bodhisattva's levels, whether it is oriented towards meditative serenity, towards insight, or towards both as the path that conjoin them. So which, as I mentioned before, is talking about both conjoining or both the serenity, which is calm abiding, and the special insight, and so so here obviously when you talk about this union or the conjoining of the two, it's not talking about the union of method and the wisdoms. Of course, no, you're not talking about that. So, and then the calm abiding, what makes the special insight, something which is special. What is special about special insight, which is that it is it's the kind of the stage where in the meditators were able to induce this bliss of flying sea, flying seas, through or by the force of analyzing analyzing the object of the meditations. So whereas in relating to the kind of the flying sea, the bliss of flying sea that the meditator experience or gain during the at the stage of while they meditate, achieve the calm abiding state. So it is simply that the bliss simply is induced or is experienced by the force of the ability to of the mind, like single-pointedly focus on the object. So through that force, through single-pointed constant force with single-pointed concentrate, that bliss is experienced or gained. So whereas in the special insight, so it's the bliss is gain is a higher in the sense that that even able to induce the experience of bliss even through the force of analyzing the object of the meditations. So then so just the last where we stop tonight is here, how to begin the cultivation of meditative stabilization. So think about the benefit of and engaging in the Bodhisattva's deeds also says. So having thus generated joyous perseverance, set your mind in meditative concentrations. This Geshe wants to stop there. Set your mind on meditative concentration. Yeah. Bring the tea.